Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be here with you with Bloom Daily Planners. You're going to need to go lay down. The dog is already tippy tapping. I'm sure you can hear her. I have a little bit of a different setup going on tonight. You are with me at my house because it's a late night, Friday night um, planner vision board party. That's what we're going with. So I am hoping that this helps to inspire you guys. I know it's about to be new planner season. I have my 2025 planner here, and I have my 25-26 planner here. Because I've been doing all of my plan with me's in my academic 25-26, that's where we're going to make our vision board. She's killing me, guys. Um, I'm also, just for full transparency, I'm going to have a 2026 planner for my personal planner. But this is nice to kind of also have a practice round of vision boarding. So I have some slides that I prepped to walk you guys through kind of my system, how I start planning and prepping for my vision board. And then we're going to switch to an overhead camera and we'll actually like put it together. Um, all I see is people in the comments is that Carrie. I don't know if that's Carrie H or like Carrie. I'm gonna go with Carrie. But thanks for coming to hang out. Okay, so when we're talking about vision boards, like what is a vision board? Why do we use them? When do we use them? And why do they matter, right? So when we're talking about a vision board, I mean a visual representation of what you want your life to look like this time next year, right? For our purposes, that's the goal. And so I brought my 2025 one planner to show you my vision board that's in here. So I usually print like style mine all out on Canva and then print it out as one sheet and tape it in. So you can see I have my word of the year. It's optional, but it's nice to have in there. And then pictures of my family, my friends, the things that are important to me, the things that I want to focus on. And if I could look back now, right, that I made this last December. So looking back now, I should be able to look at this and be like, yes, I did this, I did that, I hung out with them. That's the goal. So it's a way for you to manifest. Please go lay down. Thank you. A way for you to manifest your goals and dreams in an easier way because you have something to look at to help remind you where you're headed. That's the goal. Hey, Brennan, happy almost birthday. Um, yeah, thank you to anybody who pops in because I know it's like a crazy busy Friday night and you're here with me. Um, So yeah, the reason why it's so important and why it matters to have a vision board in your planner especially is because it's something in theory that you're carrying around with you. It's going on your adventures. You're something you're gonna see every day. And so it's nice to have it in there, even if you're not looking at your vision board every day. It's nice to have it in your planner because as you're flipping through, maybe at least once a week, you can check it out and see how you're doing, right? Brennan, you should absolutely make one of these for college, for sure. You should also make one for summer. We'll go into that because I am a big fan of a seasonal vision board and not just a yearly one, and I have some examples of that too. Closely related to a vision board would also be like a year bucket list or a bingo board, which is something we played around with last year. And you can see I had to make some edits. I did get bingo, right? Or is it this way? No, it's this. I'm doing the same thing over and over. It's this way. Um, so that's a fun way to put like your specific goals if you don't want to have so many words on your vision board. That's a fun way to keep things kind of organized. Um, she said, I'm so lost. Don't worry, I will help guide you through. So yeah, vision boards are meant to be fun. They're meant to bring up some emotions. They're meant to help keep you on track. And so that's why they're so important and why we have them in our planners as those front pages. Let's see. So there's some more vision board examples. The one I just showed you was 2025. On here, I also have my 2024. You can see there's lots of Bloom, the Bloom Girls, Taylor Swift is on there. My best friend makes an appearance in all of these. The garden is a big deal for me and my girls. And then the bottom picture is a lineup of the giant boards that we make our vision boards on at Bloom, and we keep them up and around. So on usually the second, but this year I think it's the 6th. When we come back from winter break, all of the Bloom team gets together and we present our vision boards for the following year to each other. And then we work on making a team vision board, pooling for what we want as a company. And we keep those up so that we can all kind of, again, stay on the same page. And if you can't see it, then it won't work, right? You can't just make a vision board and tuck it away. The whole point is that you're seeing it. Adriana, perfect. I'm glad to meet you. That's your username is like super long, so thank you. I appreciate that, Adriana. Okay. And then this is what I was talking about with the seasonal one. So I have made on here live before, we made a summer vision board, like bucket list style. And you can see I made it on an actual like poster board. My word for the summer was breathe. And lots of garden pictures. I brought stickers. We did like a little crazy dollar store shop. I grabbed all kinds of stuff. Um, and then I taught a class more in depth than this, but I taught a vision board class at Chicago Planner Conference 2 Novembers ago. And for that, we were making winter specific, like seasonal vision boards. And so this was my holiday vision board, right? With like the joy from Inside Out was she's like making core memories, lots of craftiness, my kids. So, yeah, let's see. Um, There's sweetness with you and craft. Yes, I do love I do love crafting. You are very correct. Hey, Rosemary, how are you? And it looks like Brittany said she made her first vision board last year with one of the free printables and stickers. I love that. That is a great reminder too. If you maybe have a different planner, you found us just on YouTube looking up vision planners in gen or vision boards in general. We have a vision. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I just lost my headphone. Oh no, it's like lost. Okay. Okay. I'll keep wondering if I'm putting these in like upside down. Um, we do have the vision board page as part of our planner, but if you aren't using a Bloom planner, we also have pretty much all of our life coaching pages available as free downloads on our website. So keep that in mind, um, that you have more options there. And you can see I print out some of our extra printables and I just like tape them in. There's like a reading list, mood trackers. So you can always customize to whatever you need for your front pages. But yeah, so don't think that a vision board has to only be made in December or January for the whole next year and that's it. You have so many more options. available to you. You can do a quarterly one, seasonal, holiday specific, life event, right? If Brennan wants to make one for going to college and what that first semester of college is going to look like, go for it. Go for it. Let's see. I haven't done slides like these before, so I'm learning. There we go. So the trick when you're making your vision board, when you're coming up with what's going to go on your vision board, you have to have some areas of focus, because my favorite saying is you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So you only have so much space on your board, right? And you only have so many minutes in the day for you to focus on things. Hey, Jen. Thanks for coming in. So with our vision boards and picking those areas of focus, the thing that I like to do when I'm starting to prep, usually have like a piece of paper or like a post-it, and I like to just kind of take a couple minutes, take some deep breaths, and think about the areas of my life that are the most important to me. And it doesn't have to be like the most important things in your life ever, who you are as a person, right? And it doesn't need to be something that you feel like you're supposed to say, if that makes sense. It should be in this moment where you are now, with the timeline that you're looking to make your vision board for. What is important now? What is bringing you joy? What makes you laugh? If you could pick anything to be doing right now, what would it be? That's a good place to start. But if you I don't know. I'm just gonna say a wild out there one, as like an extreme. But like, let's say you are single and you're focusing on your career, and your parents are good and your grandparents are good and you see them and it's great. Don't feel like you have to say family, because so because society tells you you have to say family. Like, if it's okay if they're not the focus of your vision board, it doesn't mean that they're not important to you. It just means that's not a place where you need to focus your energy on growth right now, right? Versus if work is going great and your home life isn't going great, then maybe family should be a bigger focus for that energy to flow to. So, your vision board, in theory, at the end of this, can be shared with others so they can help cheer you on and hold you accountable. But it doesn't need to be shared widely on the internet or with people who don't know or support you. So, you don't have to worry about any judgment, and you don't need to judge yourself for whatever those important columns end up being. So let me tell you, for example, with my vision board last year, my word of the year was healing. Okay. And I had lost my grandmother. Um, this coming February will be 2 years now. So she's on there. My mom was moving down to Delaware to be with us. So she's on there. My family was a huge focus for me, and trying to have like healing, calm, cozy vibes, a lot of rest, a lot of trying to be gentle with myself, healing my body, healing my mind. And so, right, to do that, I needed my support group, I needed my friends and family. So that was a big focus. I do also have things on here like making an online course, teaching an in-person course, working on my card making stuff, trying to clean up my diet, right? So there's still a good mix of things that are important, but my family was like the huge focus of this, and healing my thyroid, as you can see from that picture. Um, but so this year is going to look different, right? Because I still want those times with my family, and I still want to be um, gentle with myself. I want to work on growing my platforms. I obviously want to work on helping Bloom grow as much as possible. It's going to be like a crazy year. I can already feel it. Um, but I am at a much better place with my health. and I have found great doctors, and I have my all my lab results are coming back so much better. So now that I've gotten that under control, my goal for this year, right? The areas of focus are my family for sure. My kids are just keep growing faster and faster. It's absolutely ridiculous. My youngest is about to turn 9, and I don't know when that happened. So kind of tying back into my winter one last year, like I really want to focus on being present and making these core memories and really focusing on having fun, and being able to be silly again now that I'm feeling better, right now that my health is in a better place. So it's good to shift those areas of focus as life changes. And I do think that that's why a seasonal or quarterly vision board can be a little easier to tackle, especially if you haven't made a vision board before, because you're not saying what's going to be important to you for the next year. You're just saying what's going to be important for maybe the next 2 to 3 months, which seems, I think, a little less daunting. Okay, I also, sorry, I see, exactly. Brennan said if a house isn't on fire, you don't need to pour water on it. Exactly. Just because it's not the main focus doesn't mean it's not still important to you. It's just not where you need to focus your attention for change, I think is a good way to think of it. And I see Robbie's here. Hey. Okay. So, the next big thing you want to think of once you have your general areas of focus is how do you want to feel? Because your emotions hold a lot of power, and the when you have a vision of what you want and you can feel the emotion behind that that goal, that's when the manifesting like spark happens. So when I'm thinking of having fun, right, and I want to create fun moments with my kids, I have the visions, I have them printed out here of like us at the beach as a family and me and them going to see the Taylor Swift um like music video thing at the theater, and it's like taking a second to close my eyes and take some deep breaths and feeling that like giddy giddy like little girl excitement, like when you're just shaking, you're so excited and it's so much fun, or when you're laughing so hard that your stomach hurts and you're like kind of starting to worry because you can't breathe. Like that's the feeling that I want to have, and I want to be able to look back this time next year and be like, man, think of all of those like so much fun, all of those hilarious things that we did, all of these like giggly memories that we have now. That's how I want to feel. So it's not just taking, a pretty picture that like, oh, I'm going to save money. Cool. Here's a picture of a dollar bill. I'm putting it on my vision board. That's fine if that's your goal. But you need to stop and think like, okay, how am I going to feel when I know that my savings account has hit X amount of dollars, right? How am I going to feel knowing that I started my IRA or 401k this year? I'm going to feel that security. I'm going to feel so proud of myself. I'm going to feel accomplished, successful, whatever that is. Once you start tying an emotion to it, um, the chances that it's going to happen automatically go up because your brain starts already feeling like it's happening. So, and then that leads into like a bucket list, right? So once you have those areas of focus, it's nice to come up with not just um, like a general vibe, right? Like I can say like, oh, I love my family. I want to spend time with my family, but that can be really vague, right? So if we put on pictures of the family and they're just random pictures and it's like, oh, family, but you don't have like an event or like a bucket list to kind of check off a specific thing that you want to be held accountable to, it's like you can kind of just go with the flow and be like, yeah, I think this year I hung out with family. Versus if you, right, like on my on last year's vision board, I have a picture right here of us kayaking because that was super fun, but I also felt so calm out there on the water. Like once we got paddled out, it was very zen for me. And so I thought that would be also very healing, but my kids loved it. So that my put that specific picture on here as a bucket list, that I wanted to go do more kayaking with my husband and my kids as a family. And we did. We didn't do a lot, but we did get back out there. Um, and then that also is a good thing if you want to make a bucket list, or like a yearly to-do list. Again, that is where bingo or something like this could come in really handy. So I have on here, um, like last year started an IRA, and I did that and I got to check it off. Um, I had like teach an in-person workshop, start a gardening channel, plant 3 kinds of pumpkins, right? So there are some specific bucket list things that I wanted to be able to look back at my year and say like, oh my gosh, yes, I did that. I nailed it. These are the things, the tasks that will help me feel the way I want to feel when I'm looking back at my vision board and those areas of focus that I picked. Let's see, Michelle said, sometimes I put past photos of things on my vision boards because those memories give me the good feelings I want to manifest more of in the future. Exactly. And also, hey girl. Um, no, that's exactly how I feel, right? I put that picture of us kayaking because it was so much fun, and I just associate so many positive vibes with that day. It was like, I want more of that. I want to remember how I felt in that moment going into the next year. And I was able to recreate some of that. Um, and he said, I like seeing handwriting. I love looking at people's handwriting too. Meredith, our graphic designer, and Jen, who's in the comments too, has like a beautiful cursive handwriting. Let's see, Jen said, I did that as well. I have a picture of a past retreat that I went on because I want to nurture those friendships. Perfect. So you can be a mix of your own pictures of things that you want to focus on, but also don't be afraid to pull in pictures that you find inspiring from magazines or Pinterest or wherever. I feel like that's, I mean, the internet and magazines is the main ones. Um, or if you're an artist, draw, paint, sketch, doodle your vision board. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so that brings us to actually making your vision board, which, what a perfect transition. So looking through magazines, newspapers, online sources, finding those things that stand out to you. I really like to come up with my areas of focus, how I want to feel. If I can, my word of the year, but that's kind of a deeper dive, so I wanted to keep that separate from our talk today. Um, Mine is going to be, I think, fun. I might adjust it a little bit. So if you want help with word of the year, we did a word of the year video last year, and I do plan on doing another one this year. So keep an eye out for that, and I will try to add a link to last year's in the description for this so you can find it. Um, but I like to go through that whole process and get in the right mindset first and then find the pictures instead of like glancing through and being like, oh, that's kind of pretty. Oh, I think that's kind of cool. And then hoping that those fit the vibe. Sometimes if you're stuck, that's not a bad way to start getting like the wheels turning. But I personally do like to sit down and at least take a couple minutes to evaluate where I want my year to go before I start picking out pictures. Jen said I use ChatGPT to come up with my word of the year. If that's what you need to do, if that's what you need to do, as long as you're giving it all of your information, um, I'm sure it definitely can help kind of guide you or give you a list. We also have in our planners, values and word of the year aren't the same thing. I know that, but we do have a values section, right? Common values. And I do think that some of those words can kind of get the wheels spinning too. So keep that in mind as well. And so I'm going to switch views. Let's see if I can manage this. There we go. All right, so I'm going to switch views and talk to you about my vision board and how I'm kind of arranging all of this stuff. So I have my large 8.5 by 11 hardcover planner. And I picked this one because, especially being on here live with you guys, it's going to be the easiest. Um, Sorry, my camera doesn't like when there's only white space. Um, it's going to be the easiest for me to like show you versus working on a small one. But there's nothing wrong with having a smaller vision board, right? It's whatever works for you that you're going to actually carry and see. So there's vision board pages in our tiny pocket planners that are 4 by 6, and our medium ones and our large ones. You can also, like I said, put it on a poster board and keep it in your house, put it next to your mirror, whatever you want. Let's see, Michelle said, I struggle because I always want to put so much on mine, but this year I'm going to try to simplify. Sometimes less is more. Yes. Um, it's so funny to see how different within the Bloom group our vision boards end up looking. Because I feel like Meredith always has like a very I don't know if concise is the word. She has like a very simple and clean, very clear areas of focus, where me and Michelle tend to have like a more is more visual um, approach. So I'm just going to kind of spread these out so I can walk you guys through why some of these are here, and then we'll actually do our like gluing. I'm probably going to cover up the year of visions also, by the way. So I have some number goals that I'm trying to hit for Bloom and for my own channels. I have lots of family pictures with my mom and the kids and my husband and my dad. Um, my daughter with the chickens. We got chickens last spring. Instagram, YouTube, my beautiful Bloom girls. I don't know if it's going to focus. There we go. From our holiday party like a week ago. Of course, they had to make an appearance. Um, Pictures from like a class paperwork that I put together. Lots of garden pictures. I started a cut garden this year, cut flower garden, and we did plant lots of pumpkins. And so I want to just keep growing that. It was my first year doing cut flowers, and I absolutely loved it. So I do plan on doing more of that. And then for my word, I had these little square papers left over from a card that I guess I made. And I have these really fun balloon stamps. And so I just stamped the letters out. You can just print them, you can write them. You don't have to have your word of the year on here. You can keep it separate if you want. And then I like to start off my projects with either some washi tape, or I also have scraps of like scrapbook paper. Um, because I think for me personally, it's very hard um, to see a white, solid white page, and not like, to me that's daunting, right? Looking at this white piece of paper and being like, okay, now I'm supposed to fill this whole thing out right now. Where do I start? Right? So for me, covering up some of that background space helps me kind of get my the creative process going. So I'm going to take these scrapbook papers, and we're kind of just going to make like a little mosaic border, I think. Originally, I wasn't sure if I was going to try to fill it in. Some tools, if you're going to use paper, or you're going to like cut out or print out your pictures, I would recommend um, some kind of double-sided tape, or like a tape runner like this. You can get them at the craft store. You can get double-sided tape at the dollar store. It doesn't have to be a huge investment if you don't want it to be. This yellow feels a little long. And if your vision for the year is like peace and serenity, maybe your color choices are going to be a little different than mine, right? If I'm shooting for super bright, fun, crazy, joy, whatever, I want my colors to represent that too. And so my color choices are very bright. Yes, Michelle, more is more. Sometimes more is more. Sometimes less is more. But I am a self-proclaimed, um, I have the too much gene. Sometimes I have a hard time knowing when to stop, um, when it comes to design. But we all have things we want to work on, and so that's fine. Sometimes more is more. Again, it depends on what your goal is. So if Michelle's goal for the year is to simplify and focus on, a few bigger tasks instead of getting sidetracked, then less would be more, right? Because that's going to help keep her inspired and motivated on her goals because it's going to look like it fits the part. Let's see. I want a little bit of pink in here, so we're going to have to trim some purple away. I also grabbed one of our sticker books because the stickers in our sticker book are a little bit bigger than the stickers in our sticker packs. And so I personally feel like for something like a vision board that they're perfect, um, because they're going to fill in that space. They're going to be able to hold up to everything else going on. And then look at that. I have one like two glitter pieces, I think, that are going to fit right across there. And I can put my fun up there on some glitter. I'm very curious to know, for anybody who has done vision boards before, do you like to do them alone? Do you like to do them with friends? Have you had experience with either of those approaches? Um, because I'm always just curious if sometimes I feel like for me, I like the idea of doing like the prep work by myself, but the actual making I think is more fun with friends like this, right? Like yeah, why not? Right? I know you're not physically here with me, but it feels like I'm not making it alone. So to me, this is my perfect setup, but I'm always curious. Or like even with Bloom, we like make them by ourselves and then we like present them to each other. But sometimes I feel like if I had seen how someone else was doing theirs, then maybe I would have done something different on mine. I said tape earlier, but also keep in mind like a glue stick would also be fine. Whatever you have. Right? I'm hoping this inspires you and not doesn't make you feel like another thing on your to-do list. I'm not a huge fan of New Year's resolutions. To me, that feels heavy. And so for me, something like a vision board is way more fun and exciting in my mind. Something that it's just more enjoyable for me. You do whatever you need to do, obviously. But if you love a resolution, you love a bingo card, you love a to-do list, um, then having more of those task kind of items, bucket list items on your vision board might be perfect for you. Um, but if you need more of like the vibes, then this style of like just the vision part might be a better fit. I will tell you that when I was printing these out, I tried my hardest to make like the squares and these rectangles the same width, right? So that I knew it would be easier to line them up, because as much as I do like a collage, I like a collage that's kind of more grid style. I know that not everybody does like that. I have seen many collages that are like a controlled chaos, right? Where like things are overlapped and it's paper mache and lots of layers. And I, I love how that looks, but I'm not confident in my ability to make that where I will like it when it's done. So I like a grid. If you also like a grid and you are familiar with Canva, 10 out of 10 recommend making your grid in Canva and just printing out the whole grid. All right. And I have, right, my Bloom girls with my Bloom number. I have, let's see, that's on Instagram. So here's my thought with that, right? That's an Instagram number. This is a YouTube number. So maybe we'll put YouTube up there. And I have a chicken channel and I really don't post there, but I included it because I only started it as because it felt fun. It was so silly when we started, and like I let my girls help me. And so that was my goal with that section, with like adding some of these, like this little arm wrestling. My husband has been following arm wrestlers and like getting into arm wrestling, and I keep telling him that he should make a channel because there aren't other people making the kind of content he is personally looking for. And so I keep being like, you should be the content you want to see in the world, right? Um, and he's like, not sure. But so like these to me feel very like it doesn't have to be serious all the time, right? We can just make to make. We can make to have it be fun. And maybe we post there a lot, and maybe we just post there for sillies. Um, oh, and look, I have strawberries. Well, the strawberries have to go on. I have two flowers together though. That was not intentional. So that's the thing. Now I want to make sure that I'm like evenly spreading things out. So I have my grid started. Maybe strawberries will go up here. Maybe my little cut flowers. Let me shift all of these over. And cut flowers can go over here. Yes. And those can just pop at the bottom. So that's right, kind of my general thing. Um, See, it says Nebraska Dawn says my vision board is a chaotic mess, but I love it. And that's the most important part, right? There is no right or wrong when it comes to your vision board. It just needs to be you. If you're making your board to look like someone else's, um, well, let me think of it. If you're inspired by somebody else's board and it's speaking to you, then by all means, make your board look like somebody else's. But if you're making your board to look like something that you saw because you feel like that's the right way and it's not actually connecting to you, I would encourage you to pull away from that. Um, because I love the look of those chaotic overlapping vision boards. I love them, but I know the process of making it is not going to be fun for me. I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm not going to like how it looks afterwards. So as cute as I think they are, and as jealous as I am that you did that and that it looks great, um, that's just not me. And another reason why doing a seasonal bucket list could be fun is that you can try that out, test it out, see if you do like that. And if you don't, no pressure because in 3 months you're going to make a new one anyway, right? These have the power to help you reach your goals and your dreams, but they don't have to be It's not going, how do I want to say that? Nobody's going to be holding this up as judgment at the end of your life, right? Like nobody's, you're not being held to these. They're just meant to inspire and encourage you. And if they happen to just be really fun, all the better, or beautiful, or whatever you want them to look like. Oh, the collage looks like a happy life. Thank you. That's what I'm working on. Sometimes I get so caught up in like feeling like I wasn't feeling good for so long that like now I have to remind myself like, but I do feel better. Like, but I can go do that thing. But I should try this thing again because maybe it will work this time. Like maybe I will feel good this time. My parents aren't together, so maybe we should not put them next to each other. Maybe we split them up with my daughter in the middle. I don't think they would care. And like one thing that was on my bucket list this year was a Longwood Gardens trip with my mom. And so like we did that on Wednesday, and I immediately printed out this picture the next day because I knew I was going to want to include it because her and I had so much fun. It was like grown-up girls only. We went to dinner, we walked around, we got bougie hot chocolate, and we just took our time. And she got to look at the orchid room for the full like half hour that she's always dreamed that she could. Um, and we love taking my kids there in the spring when it's nice and they can run and be crazy. But in the winter, it's usually too cold and dark, and they don't enjoy it the same, right? It's not the same. So this year we were like, you know what? We're gonna try this out and see what happens. And it was so good. So that is more of the kind of fun that I want to bring to 2026. So instant printout. Robbie said she had so much fun making her board this year. Well, do you want to, can I share, Robbie, some of your success with your vision board from last year into um, 2025? Because I feel like we should brag. You should brag on that. You had a huge goal accomplishing year this year, friend. I have one that's hanging over the side. I'm just explaining. I'm flipping my page over to trim it from the back because then I know it's not like it's going to be the perfect size. Oh, we got to get Robbie a vision planner. Okay, that's me. Oh, you can't see my face anymore, but I 100% do that millennial um, peace sign, duck face. Still, I'm not giving that up. There we go. And the sillies. And then, if you want to add, I told you I have the too much gene. So while I keep talking to you, I'm going to go in and add, especially because I made a grid, some like grout lines. I know that's not the proper term, right? This isn't tiling, but I can go in and add some. Yes, Robbie manifested some huge goals this year, got a dream job that she had put on her vision board. So excited for you, so proud of everything you've accomplished this year, and true proof of how that focus and hard work and determination and all those things you can um, bring out what you need. There you go. She said, I manifested going back to Disneyland for the 70th after being there 20 years ago for the 50th. So exciting. I just remember seeing it on your vision board last year and being like, she's going to do it. She's going to get there. And it didn't even take you all year. So exciting. So happy for you. Oh, I don't want to add that to the middle. Add some this way. All right. Well, I'm wrapping up the end of this. So if there's any questions, definitely pop them into the chat. I am curious to know for anybody who has made a vision board before, or if you're watching this as a replay, if you've made a vision board before, when do you make your boards? Are we making them at the new year? Are we making them that awkward week between Christmas and New Year's? Like, when is that happening? I love making mine that awkward week because to me, it's like after Christmas, the year might as well just be over, but it's not over, obviously. And so the new year, though, in my mind, still doesn't start until the first. So I think that it's fun to, I think it's really fun to have like a transition week, right? Like the space between. Oh, look, and I have some stickers. This one from Mayor says, every great dream begins with a dreamer. I think that would look lovely right there. And that's what I mean. You can come back through and add little things here or there, or not. You could keep it very simple and clean if that's your aesthetic and not worry about adding any extra things. I won't judge you for that. Put a little party banner up here because we want some fun. Oh, Michelle said a cute idea would be to take a picture of it and put it on your phone lock screen image. The more you see it, the better. 100%. And again, if you decide to do a Canva board like this one, you could just make it what is it, 9 by 16, and like put it in that form and just have it be like made for a background. So I think that would be very fun as well. And then, yeah, like we said, if it's in your planner, if you need to make it on a poster board and hang it somewhere in your room, if it needs to be on your phone screen, you need this to be somewhere where you can see it regularly so that you can check in with yourself. And the key, what we talked about earlier with the emotion part of it, is that when things start to get tough or you're not sure you're going to reach the goal that you set, if having your vision board is a really great way to remind yourself why you're trying to do what you're doing, right? Instead of getting caught up in the like taskiness of checking it off, coming back to your vision board, seeing the vision and feeling the emotion that started you on that path, the pride, the excitement, the joy, um, all of those feelings are going to be what drives you to push harder when there's a chance you might not hit that goal. And having your vision board around to keep you on track and keep you motivated is an excellent way to make sure that doesn't happen, that you don't lose steam, right? That's another thing we hear from people all the time, like, oh, I started my planner in January and then by February I had 5 blank pages. Having the more effort and work that you put into this planner and those front pages and setting up January, and the more excited you get about it, the more likely you're going to stick with it. So, with that in mind, I will be back here on December 30th. It's a Tuesday at, let's see, we put it in our planner. I will be back here on Tuesday the 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern with a January plan with me, where we're going to plan out January. We're going to do a monthly spread and a weekly spread. We're going to do the whole month this time. So 4 weekly spreads and a monthly spread. to start prepping and getting excited for January. We're also going to be doing a planner Q&A on Monday the 5th. So keep an eye out for that. Monday, January 5th, we're going to be doing a planner Q&A. And then I'm also working on non-live videos, like pre-recorded and edited videos, going over the front pages of the planners, going over word of the year, and going over mission statement. So if you have any specific questions on any of that stuff, please leave them down in the comments so that as we're filming this next week, because I'm pretty much going to have the office to myself. So I'm going to be able to film everything that I want this week. So I want to make sure that I'm answering questions that you have, or I'm getting help from all my Bloom resources to get you the answers that you need. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm so excited that for everybody that popped in to say hi. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching the replay. I hope this definitely inspires you to get working on those visions and vision boards. And don't think you have to do it all at once. You can sit down tonight and make a list of your focus areas, and then tomorrow work on a bucket list, and then next Saturday after the holidays are over, start pooling your images. It's not a one and done. You don't need to feel rushed. So hopefully, like I said, this just gets those wheels turning, gets some ideas flowing for you. And we're just so excited to see what amazing things are coming your way in 2026. All the different places you can find us are linked down in the description below. If you're new here, please hit subscribe. We're always trying to look for more ways we can reach out, more lives, more content for you guys. So if you want to keep up with us, hang out with us here, hang out with us over on Instagram. I think that's all the main things. Like I said, I'm just grateful you guys came to hang out. Nebraska, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Thank you for everybody in the comments. We will see you guys back here after the holidays. So mark your planner now, 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday the 30th, or watch the replay later. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing weekend and an amazing holiday week, whatever that looks like for you. And if this time of year is hard, just know that you're not alone, and we love you. Have a great rest of your well, I'll see you before 2025 is over. So have a great night, and I'll see you guys soon.